This is Real Talk with Jamez King L on VIBE609 Radio.
Oh, let's talk. Real Talk with Jamez King L. Oh, let's talk. Real Talk with Jamez King L.
Real Talk is bringing you the news, interviews, food reviews, and so much more with your boy, Jamez King L on VIBE609 Radio.
Oh, let's talk. Real Talk with Jamez King L. Oh, let's talk. Real Talk with Jamez King L.
Welcome to another episode of Real Talk with Jamez King L. I'm your host, Jamez King L. Today we have a special guest in the house representing the green. You know what I'm saying? when he ran for mayor, he did a whole lot of stuff. So without further ado, Hank Green.
What's happening, James? I appreciate you, Jamez King L. Man, you know what? I appreciate you. I see how you're growing right now. Your studio looks fabulous. Your artwork and everything that you're doing.
Thank you.
I've been wishing you well. I haven't seen nobody who really understands or know the media business and technology like you locally. You know what I mean? Homegrown. You from here, and you have a lot of skills and talents that needs to be. People need to know how talented you are and what you're doing. And since I've been talking to you about it, you've been asking me. We've been talking back and forth about coming and doing some shows and doing some work and things like that. I've been asking you for my own, but I already know that you know what I mean. I don't have to know everything about all the technology and things like that. When I have somebody like you who I can come to and basically set me up, and all I have to do is do what I do, you know, my part. That's right. Come on and talk about the things in our community or what's happening. But I'm very impressed.
Thank you, bro. Appreciate it. I don't get that too often.
No,
I really don't.
You know, I am. I'm very impressed with all the work you do, your media work that you do, the small things from your cards to your logo. Oh, your logo. You know, when y'all see this logo, you're gonna be like, yo, it's professionally done. It is professionally done, but by him.
Yeah, yes.
And you know what I mean? So he can do all of these types of things that he have going on. I love what you're doing with your children, how you're already setting them up to be independent, financial entrepreneurs and things like that. So you've been doing that with your wife, your family. You're all keyed in and pulled in, trying to utilize all of these different talents that you have. And now I see that it's rubbing off on your children and everything else. You know what I mean? Yes. Are there other individuals or other people that you know that you have that are wanting to do some type of shows or programs or different things?
Well, yeah, we have a show with Sister Laura. It's called Wellness with Laura. She talks obviously she talks about like health topics. We have Ira. He has Game On with Ira, where it's like a sports show. So he actually supposed to be here today to start touching on these playoffs. I was on them like a hit record yesterday. You know what I mean? And then we so far as other people, that's who's there now. Now we supposed to have a show going back on with Sante, but she's been busy. She had, you know, she's been very, very busy. And there's a couple other shows supposed to happen that haven't. But we're working on a lot of new shows, so we ready to get a show going on with Hank.
Well, you know, I think that we're going to do something. You know what I mean? Not that whatever it is, I think none of that. We're going to do something. We're going to work together and collaborate and get something done. All the way, we've already worked together before. When we radio show VIBE609, y'all look out for that. That's coming up. We're going to have our own local radio station. You can tune in like you tune it in to Power 99 or FM 95 or whatever. Talk show, music. He'll be able to translate all those particular things. And all what he needs is support from our community. That's it. I seen that they had Zoogies, the little sub truck that comes around. Zoogies. Yeah. The sub things. And so many people in the city came out and supported this young man, this entrepreneur, and things like that. And that's the type of support you should have. You should have that type of support within our community. Even
more than that, because you know, since the Black Men United thing, we actually we be willing to get down and dirty for our community. We put it all on the line for them. As like just like yourself. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you supposed to get that same support as well, because I've watched you show that you care about the community. I've watched you fight and fight powers that could crush you, and you still stood strong. You know, and it's so strange that people like that are the ones that I'm not gonna say don't get support, but they don't get what they should get. And the people that might just come out of nowhere, they get all the support.
Yeah.
So it's nothing to be angry about. It's just something to think about. Like, not necessarily us, because we've been thinking about it for a while.
I'm not angry, bro. You know what? It's a lot. It's a lot. Coming home and expecting the support and things that you want. It's just how the world is right now. And,
Yes.
You know what I mean? And things like that. You go through those particular things. You move on. You grow. You learn from them.
Right.
You know what I mean? I've learned a lot. You know what I mean? You have to be resourceful and skilled. It
Absolutely.
doesn't stop you from doing what you wanted to do, because you start resourceful and skilled. You know what I mean? No one can take nothing away from you because you're too skilled and talented. You're always going to figure out a way to take care of yours.
And I got something I want to add to that. So since we got you here, give them a little glimpse into your humble beginnings, like in radio and broadcast and stuff like that, because you're not new to this. You're true to this. Let them know a little bit more about Hank for those that don't know.
Yeah, some years back, like in 2009, I met up with Kevin Hall. Rest in peace, Kevin.
Oh, wow.
Kevin's passed away now.
Oh, man. Sorry to hear that. I didn't know that.
So, yeah, Kevin's gone. He passed away a couple of years ago, maybe about 2 years ago. And he invited me to work with him and be a co-host with him on the Kevin Hall show program on WOND. Right. And that was my first glimpse of getting on the radio and things like that. It just worked out. He was Martin Luther King. They called me Malcolm X. He was more patient in the way that he's expressed himself and how he talked. And he, you know what I mean? He's talking to a lot of the older generation, and in the way that he spoke about things. I learned so much from Kevin. How to speak, how to use my vocabulary properly. He would correct me like, oh, you're using these words in this tense and that tense, so that's not the. And I was never mad about those things. There's always good things, you know, as long as someone's sharing with me, knowledgeable, sharing with me, same way I would be with you. I can't say nothing to you about, you know, all of this technology. So all I can do is take in the information and things like that you're showing me and you're telling me. But Kevin used to always encourage me and motivate me. Go on, you can do it. You know what I mean? Don't worry about that. Just do it. You know what I mean? Don't sit back and wait and overthink it. Just jump in. And he pushed me right into it. And I was able to utilize that particular platform, which is WOND is a conservative type station. You know, I think there's more, you know, I guess, white folks that might listen to that particular station, but it's mixed. Everybody listens to the station, but, you know, it's a more conservative, it's less leftist. And there's not a lot of Democrats or people like that are hosts on that particular show. Right. But we were on that show for one night, and we got an opportunity. And I used to think that other people from other communities, particularly white folks from other communities, used to look at our communities and our problems that we have in our community, and they were like, why can't they solve their own problems? The problem with that is they ignorant to what's going on. They don't live in the community, so they really don't know what's happening, if people are doing anything or not. They just see what they see in the media and the news. Right. And so what Kevin and I tried to do, especially myself, is when I'm in the community and I find someone that's doing something productive in the community, we get a chance to try to help to expose them. We didn't make a lot of money from doing it. We thought the main thing was to expose that there are people in our community who are trying to solve the ills of our community. Right. We're not everyone's not out begging for money or thinking the government should give us money. People are in our community trying to do the right things, trying to help in different ways, and other people don't see that because they're not from our community, and that's not the message that they've been getting. That's right. So on our show, we bringing these folks into a conservative station, and we're showing them every week that there's people out there in our community doing something positive that's trying to change the way, or some of the images and things like that. We are doing the work in our community. It's just not being seen or exposed. Maybe the lack of a VIBE609 is the reason why we can't get our points of view or the things that's happening in our community out there. We don't have our own radio station like WSS back in the day, or, you know, we don't have that. And so now we might be blessed with the opportunity of having something like VIBE609 going on, and people can go to and find out information or things that affect us as a community. And so that gives us a different platform. But I use that platform in that manner, really to emphasize our community and things that's going on in our community, to support anything that's positive going on in our community, to break down some of the stereotypes and different things that other folks may have. And now you get a chance to see for yourself the products and the different people, and you get a chance to clearly see who we are and maybe take away some of these things, that the ignorance or things that you didn't know, or the way that the media project us from a different perspective. And you know what I mean? That's why VIBE609 is going to be very important once we're up and going and we're doing what we're doing. And we up and going right now today. We're starting today. It's happening right now. And we want people, you know what I mean, to look, you know, you're looking for information or you want to promote, you know what I mean, your agenda, here's the proper place to come to. And this is just like WOND. They work off of advertisements and sales and different things like that and sponsorship. And we need that same type of, you know what I mean, support over here. We're looking for that same support right here in VIBE609.
Yes.
You know, myself, I'm looking for in the program that I'm going to do here, the same thing. And we got to, you know, try to make a little bit of money so we can keep going and we can keep building and we can keep sharing, you know what I mean, things like that. So I've taken that, and we went on to start doing the podcast after that, Kevin and I, where we was in gardens, basins, and different areas of the city. This is before podcasting even became big as it is now. And we weren't making no money off it. We was setting up our videos, going through the streams, StreamYard, and I was promoting my own podcast, and we would just right there in the hood or in Garden Basin or on the beach. We was in different locations, and we tried to take that to the next level. And unfortunately, we didn't get a chance to, we wasn't still doing it once the podcast thing jumped off. So now I'm trying to get back in it, you know what I mean? Because I've been doing it from the beginning, and it wasn't profitable, but it gave me great exposure. It gave me great exposure.
Absolutely. Very, very well said.
Mm-hmm.
And you said that very well, and you touched a lot of key points that the viewers need to realize, because a lot of times the viewers don't realize the power that they have and how powerful their support is. They take themselves for granted, and it almost feels as though they're taking us for granted, but they actually taking the power of their self for granted, because with their power, it can help expand our own directions, like all collectively. You know, but sometimes they think that whatever you're doing, you don't need the help or support. They think you're already good. But no, we always need support.
Mm-hmm.
We need our people. We need all the help we can get.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so it's good that you point that out there, because like we was touching on certain topics like dealing with school board meetings, council meetings,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
We realized that a lot of things that the people complained about could have been resolved if enough of the people actually came to the meetings.
Absolutely. And that's an issue within our community, is that we wait for the leaders and whatever their word is and things like that. We're not participating in the process.
Right.
And part of it is coming to the meetings and showing for the meetings, or just listening or reading what's going on. When you find out that something's going on, we want to save the water. They're trying to sell the water. We need all the people possible, because water is important in our community. Once they take it over and they privatize it, they stop the infrastructure and things like that. They really take care of it less. And you know what I mean, than having it already. We had a well-fine oil machine water, the way that water in Atlantic City was, and then we had these outsiders coming in trying to buy it. And if you look around the country, water is important. They're trying to buy up and control even the water that we drink. That's so right. Now we can't even necessarily, if they want to cut off the faucet of the water, we won't even have any water to drink. So It's important that the people stand up and support issues that are benefiting them. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to know whatever it is. It's just your presence.
Right.
You know, we need the presence of the people to show up and saying, all right, you know what I mean, we got a couple, Steve Young, somebody like him is always standing out there pretty much by himself. And what we need is more people. He shouldn't be the only person that we see in our community that's standing up and fighting for issues that's pertaining for the betterment of all of us at the end of the day. And So we need more different activists, or you don't even have to be an activist. You just have to, if something is not right and it's not beneficial and you feel like that, you come to VIBE609, you bring the issue out, you ask for people who support that, just come in body and soul, You know, we don't ask you to come and give no money or nothing. We just need your body, and so they can see there's enough people that's upset about something and that they want you to vote in the direction that they want you to vote in, not to do what someone else have you to do. Because then now we know that person is not the person we want to vote for next time.
That's right.
They're not catering to us, you know what I mean, and our needs and what we're asking for, the things that we think are important. And so we're more mindful. We all on the same page of, all right, you know, that person, we may know them, we might have grew up with them, they might have been whatever. But if they're not fighting for the issues that concern us within our own community, we understand that we need to collectively come together and say, all right, we need to find people and put our support behind people who are fighting for our objectives and our goals. And so that's the way as a community you can be effective without you having to come and be the person out front. You don't have to be the person out front. We just need your presence. You know what I mean? Things like that.
Absolutely. And Steve, shout out to Steve Young. Steve Young, it's time to come back home, man. You've been led astray, ran amok. It's time to come back, man. It's time to come back.
Come on home.
And he know he got extra help. You know James King is out here ready to stand with him on certain issues that help the people. You know what I mean? So stop being by yourself, Steve. You know it's an army that's waiting and lying, you know what I mean, dormant, waiting for that call, wait for that whistle to blow.
All right.
So
soldiers, move out.
That's right. Everybody waiting.
And he's the ultimate soldier. I give him a lot of props because
He's the OG.
Yeah, he's the OG to this. And so we need to come together and start, utilizing United Men, Black men. Let's get together and do something positive and create our own little movement, And again, it takes a few of us initially, but ultimately we can use all the bodies we can, and Black men collectively. We in a bad situation out here as far as Black men. We're being bypassed by everything and everybody.
Umar Salahuddin.
Hey,
man, we need you, man. King Salam, we need you.
Those brothers is out there waiting, you know what I mean? They're just looking for the bat signal.
That's it.
They looking for the bat signal, and I'm quite sure that when that signal comes out, they're gonna come out and ready to stand up and stand with some of the issues and concerns that we need to talk about
and deal with.
And as politics as whole, it's not bad. You know what I mean? I really think that the mayor is doing. He's the best mayor that I've seen, as far as I'm concerned, and that's been around in Atlantic City. So they're doing a lot of different things. There's no one that's perfect.
That's right.
But they definitely, I've loved the way that he's hired a lot of folks that I know within our community who's given the opportunity to have a career job, and he's done a lot for a lot of folks and changed their lives. And so, that's big. That's important. That what's going on with that.
That's true. It's very true. Shout out to Marty Small.
Yeah, he's done one of the big